North Korea to launch satellite rocket between November 22nd and December 1st, says Japan. Before we dive in details, please subscribe to the channel and stay always one step ahead to know all global important events happening around you. Give a thumbs up and share the video with your family and friends. Let's move on with the video. North Korea has notified Japan that it plans to launch a rocket satellite into space between Wednesday, November 22nd, to Friday, December 1st, in the direction of the Yellow Sea and East China Sea, said Japan's Coast Guard. The latest development comes despite South Korea issuing a warning to Pyongyang to immediately halt its preparations to fire a spy satellite into space, which would be Pyongyang's third attempt this year. Japanese Prime Minister Fumio Kishida instructed government ministries and agencies to fully prepare for a possible North Korean launch, said Tokyo's Kyodo news agency citing the PM's office. Earlier this month, Seoul's spy agency said that Pyongyang was in its definitive phase of preparations for another effort to launch its spy satellite. We sternly warn North Korea to immediately suspend the current preparations to launch a military spy satellite. Kang Ho-pil, Chief Director of Operations at the South Korean Joint Chiefs of Staff, said Monday. If North Korea goes ahead with the launch of a military reconnaissance satellite, despite our warning, our military will take necessary measures to guarantee the lives and safety of the people. This comes after Pyongyang's failed attempt to launch the spy satellite in August this year. The United Nations Security Council has adopted many resolutions urging North Korea to stop its nuclear and ballistic projectile programs, since it conducted a nuclear test in 2016 for the very first time. South Korea had earlier released a statement saying that Pyongyang, in exchange for Moscow's space technology, was providing it with arms and ammunition. As per analysts, there is a noteworthy technical overlap between space launch abilities and the development of ballistic projectiles. After a meeting with North Korean leader Kim Jong-un in September, Russian President Vladimir Putin had suggested that his country could help Pyongyang build satellites. As the years rolled on, the situation continued to escalate. North Korea, seemingly in a bid to flex its military muscle, intensified its missile launches and nuclear tests. It was a show of force, a display of unchecked power that seemed to taunt the rest of the world. This wasn't a game of numbers, but the sheer volume of missile launches was staggering. 8 missiles, launched into the waters off the east coast of the Korean peninsula, a direct response to the provocations of North Korea. 7 of these were fired by South Korea and 1 by the United States. Yet it wasn't just about retaliation. Japan, South Korea, and the United States joined forces conducting joint military exercises. These drills were more than just a show of solidarity. They were a clear message to North Korea. The international community was ready and willing to respond, to stand up against the threats and provocations. But it wasn't just about military might. Diplomatic efforts were also underway. High-level discussions were held between the defense ministers of the United States, Japan, and South Korea. They agreed on the destabilizing effect of North Korea's missile launches and the violation of United Nations Security Council resolutions. They vowed to bolster response capabilities based on the United States alliance. Meanwhile, North Korea seemed to relish the tension, the sense of unease it was creating. The Kim regime conducted multiple ballistic missile tests, raising tensions to their highest level since 2017. The state media acknowledged these tests as part of simulated procedures to demonstrate readiness to fire tactical nuclear warheads at potential targets in South Korea. Despite the international community's efforts, North Korea remained undeterred, boasting about shaking the world with their missile tests. Fast forward to today, the threat from North Korea is as palpable as ever. The situation has taken a dramatic turn with North Korea's claims of preparing for tactical nuclear strikes. North Korean state media has acknowledged the country's recent missile tests, stating that they were part of simulated procedures to demonstrate readiness to fire tactical nuclear warheads at potential targets in South Korea. This audacious claim has sent shockwaves through the region, raising tensions to their highest level since 2017. The Kim regime has conducted 7 ballistic missile tests since late September. These tests were framed as demonstrations of the units that launched the missiles, suggesting that these systems are ready for deployment. North Korea has simulated loading nuclear warheads onto missiles and practiced procedures for a tactical nuclear strike on military command facilities and enemy ports. Experts believe North Korea has manufactured between 20 and 30 nuclear warheads, but their ability to accurately detonate them on the battlefield is unproven. Japan's response has been swift and unequivocal. Japanese Prime Minister Fumio Kishida has strongly protested the missile tests, calling them a violation of United Nations resolutions. The Japanese forces have also held joint military drills with United States forces in response to the missile launches. These developments underline Japan's commitment to maintaining peace and stability in the region. Japan, South Korea, and the United States have all been conducting military exercises during North Korea's missile tests, signaling their readiness to respond to any potential threats. These nations have collaborated closely, emphasizing the need for a united front in the face of North Korea's increasing provocations. The leaders have vowed to bolster response capabilities based on their alliances. With North Korea's audacious claims and relentless missile tests, Japan finds itself in a precarious situation. In the face of North Korea's unyielding stance, the question remains, what lies ahead for Japan? As we've seen, North Korea's missile tests and threats are not just about showcasing power. They represent a clear and ever-present danger to Japan. The escalating tensions have led to a series of responses, from missile exchanges to joint military exercises between Japan, the United States, and South Korea. Japan's Prime Minister, Fumio Kishida, has made strong protests against these provoking actions, calling them violations of United Nations resolutions. The international community too has voiced concerns and condemnation. Yet, despite these reactions, North Korea remains steadfast in its pursuits. The road ahead is fraught with uncertainty. The possibility of further escalations looms large. Will there be more missile launches, perhaps even a nuclear test? Or will diplomatic solutions prevail, leading to a de-escalation of tensions? These questions hang in the balance, waiting for answers. As Japan and the world watch North Korea's next move, one thing is clear. The North Korea threat to Japan is a complex issue with no easy solutions.